for the opportunity to speak to this motion. The challenge with this motion is that it is looking to create more duplication, more red tape, and confusion around the built environment. Mr. Onley spoke about the need to take action on the built environment to improve accessibility, and we recognize this. We've taken real action through our $1.3 million partnership with the Rick Hanson Building Certification Program, which will see us provide accessibility ratings at an estimated 250 buildings across Ontario. These ratings will not only certify buildings as being accessible, but it will provide a report with directions to buildings about how they can improve their accessibility. This is real action that we are taking now. David Olney's report calls for action on the built environment, and he notes that reviewing the building code is required. When it comes to this motion, calling for a built environment standard just simply doesn't make sense. It will create duplication with the Ontario Building Code and cause red tape and confusion. Ironically, this motion also calls for greater enforcement of the AODA. When it comes to the issue of enforcement, the Ontario Building Code is as highly enforceable as it gets. Municipal inspectors across the province are already doing this important work. So on the issue of accessibility in the built environment, the building code is the most effective tool that we can use. The Only report highlights the importance of coordinating Ontario's accessibility efforts with those of the federal government. As announced in the More Homes, More Choice, Ontario's Housing Supply Action Plan, the government will harmonize our building code with national codes to open new markets for manufacturers and bring building costs down. What we are really here to debate is creating a barrier-free Ontario, and the government cannot do this alone. This is why work on Mr. Onley's recommendations, along with other important initiatives, is ongoing. Our government is working closely with many partners to spread the word about the importance of accessibility. We partnered with OCAD University's Inclusive Design Research Centre to develop our Doors Are Open Guide for Accessible Congregations, which was shared and highlighted at the 2018 Parliament of World Religion Conference. This guide offers simple, creative ideas for different faith communities in our province to increase accessibility during worship services and community events. We also support some of these partners through a program called Enabling Change. Some recent examples of Enabling Change projects include a resource guide produced by the Ontario Business Improvement Area Association called The Business of Accessibility: How to Make Your Main Street Business Accessibility Smart. The guide gives helpful tips for businesses on how to become more inclusive and accessible. We also partnered with the Conference Board of Canada to develop Making Your Business Accessible for People with Disabilities, which is a guide that helps small businesses employ and serve people with disabilities. As Mr. Onley recommended, we are working across ministries to inform a whole-of-government approach advancing accessibility. As part of this work, we are working with ministries to look at their policies, programs and services, and identify areas where we can work together to remove the barriers faced by Ontario's 2.6 million people with disabilities. Speaker, this government is committed to accessibility and improving employment prospects for people with disabilities.
Thank you.